Welcome aboard. I remember my first kirtan, sitting in that thing. Everything's going good. Cultural. Go with that. Hare Krishna went on for a while. Okay, guys, gonna keep this grooving. 20 minutes later, same melody, keep on going. Looking around. 30 minutes, same melody, hasn't changed at all. Is I awake? What's going on? 40 minutes, same. Change it up a little. Govinda Jaya Jaya, something. But I had a yoga teacher say to me once, and I thought this was very clever. He said, yoga starts when you want to come out of the pose. Yoga starts, right? You're holding warrior two, it feels really good. 7 breaths later, feels really bad. Feels really bad. They start to get resentful at the teacher. I think we're doing it longer on this side. I start micromanaging their sequencing in my mind. I would never have done a class like this. When I want to come out of the pose, I'm no longer acting on a sensual platform or a mental platform any longer. I have to act on something deeper. And the same is with kirtan. When I want to change it up, when I'm getting a little agitated and fidgety, that's when kirtan starts. That's when my mind just settles and I can just bring the holy name into my heart. Does that make sense? Yes. And that makes sense. I was trying, I don't know if anyone saw the little comic act I was putting on trying to get a drink of water, but it was quite comical. We have a great sadhu here today. Great sadhu, Radhakund. In the back, dead center, right in front of me in the back. Raise your hand, Radhakund. If anyone has any spiritual questions at all, this Maharaj, he is a great soul. I've been to Rishikesh with him many times. From a young age, gave up his career, traveled all over India in search of spiritual truth. You know, he's one of those very, very overqualified materially people that went out, left India, got some very high-paying job and said, you know what? This doesn't fulfill my heart. All I want is what my father had, my grandfather had, my great-grandfather had. He just dedicated his life to God and Guru. He's such a shining example, and I'm so inspired seeing him back there. Haribol. Thank you for all your inspiration over the years. Haribol. Can I tell you a funny story? Mm-hmm. It's a funny story, but it's an important story. And it's not my story, it's from the Ramayana. There was a lady, a young lady. She was not even part, like in India they have Vedic system, Vedic families, but they have people born outside the Vedic culture as well. And this one young lady, his name was Shabri. And Shabri's parents wanted her to get married. But from a young age, she had a spiritual calling. Sometimes you meet kids like this, young age, 14, 15, they have some God calling. Shabri was like this, and she just said, I can't do this. And she left home, and she went in search, like Radhakund, she went in search of a guru, in search of a teacher. And she met this very, very beautiful older man who had this ashram in the forest. And she said, I want to give myself to you, Maharaj. Please instruct me. He said, well, you were so young. He said, I know, but this is all I want. So he said, okay, I'll give you some simple chores around the ashram. You can stay with us. So she did simple chores. She just swept up. She would pick flowers, and she would also pick berries. And every day she would pick some berries, and she'd put them in a little cup and put them in front of a deity of Lord Ram. Now, she wasn't trained in all the appropriate hygienic habits in the Vedic system. Unlike my Italian hygienic habits, where we we stir the sauce and we lick our fingers, you don't do that in an Indian kitchen, especially in a temple. You don't lick your hand. You don't put your hands in your mouth, right? Put your hands in your mouth and get out of the kitchen. I did that once. I volunteered in a temple. I was new to it. I thought it was cool and exotic. I said, "Can I help in the kitchen?" And the man said, "You want to help?" "Yes, come help." So I was washing a pot, and it had some ghee, leftover ghee in the pot. So, you know what I did? I just put my hand in that pot and just went, and he looked at me like I was clinically insane. And he goes, "Get out of here!" I was like, "What? It was left over. I didn't want to waste it." So Shabri didn't know either. Every day she would offer those berries, and they have very, very strict rules of how you offer things. You have to be super clean. First you have to be bathed. Your clothes have to be clean. You have to wash the fruit, and then you never even. You offer this fruit. You don't taste it. You don't smell it. It's for the Lord. But she didn't know, so she would take one. She'd take a bite, and this one's no good. Throw it out. Well, this one's pretty good. Put that in. This one's no good. This one's pretty good. Put it in. So she'd have these berries. They're all sort of bent, and then she'd offer them. But no one really, there was no accountability in this little ashram. No one knew what was going on. And so she just went away like that for years. Now, after many years of this seva, the guru called her. Because everybody in this ashram was very old except her. They said, "Shabri, our bodies do not work any longer. We've given our life to Lord Ram. But now we are going to sit in meditation and create heat in our body, and we're just going to leave our bodies." So there's this yogic city where you can cause so much heat in your body that your body bursts into flames. It's real. Nobody do it tonight. Even though you might be inspired, don't do it. But if you want to have some fun, Google up, what's it called? Spontaneous combustion. It's like a recorded phenomenon that happens. Right? And this is what she did, but there's a yogic way of doing it. Anyway, she was very sad. She said, what do you mean you're going to? No, I don't want you to leave. You're my master, you're my Lord. These are all my best friends in the universe. What will you do? What will I do if you're not here? And the Guru said, "Shabri, you just be patient. If you are patient, all your desires will be fulfilled." And she started crying. And he said, "Shabri, if you are patient, Lord Ram himself will come and deliver you." And she started crying, and she didn't know what they meant. And they lit themselves on fire. They just sat in meditation and burst into flames. And she was devastated. But she remembered and she hung on to these words of her guru. And years passed. And the time when Lakshman and Ram were searching for Sita, they stumbled across this ashram. And Shabri heard some noise in the woods. And sure enough, these two beautiful, effulgent men came out of the forest. And Shabri could not believe it. Shabri just was stunned and said, "Lakshman, Lord Ram, I cannot believe you are here. Ram, if you knew, I worship you every day. Please sit down, let me get you some water." And Lakshman and Ram sat down, he said, and with tears in her eyes, she fell to her knees and, "Ram, every day, my guru said you would come personally and rescue me. I had no idea what he meant by that, but here you are. I've been patient, and here you are, just like Guru Maharaj has said. And then she thought, Ram, every day in your murti, your vigraha, your form in the deity, I bring you fruits. Please, can I bring you some fruits today, my Lord? Ram said, yes, please, thank you. There's a beautiful berry bush growing right here. And Ram just went like this. Gave a little head bobble. I think Ram's the originator of everything, so he might have been the originator of the head bobble. So first she picked a berry and she said, oh, this one's very sweet, Ram. And she just pushed it in Ram's mouth. Ram was a little shocked. And she said, oh, this one's no good, Ram. Oh, but this one, Ram, did it again. Pushed it right in Ram's mouth. Lakshman is stunned. Took another one. Oh, Ram, wait till you taste it. This is so ripe, Ram. And just put that one right in Ram's mouth. And by the fourth berry, Lakshman got very, very angry. Mother, how dare you? Do you understand who Ram is? He is not just the king of Ayodhya. He is the Devati Deva, the Lord Master of all the demigods. And you are putting these unclean foods in the Lord's mouth? How dare you? And Ram put his hand on Lakshman's shoulder and said, sit down, Lakshman. You don't understand. These berries are so sweet. When we hear this story, the idea is that Ram is tasting the love. Some of us are singing, myself included, a little off key. Some of us couldn't carry a tune if it had a handle on it. Ram doesn't care. This is not India's Got Talent. This is kirtan. This is not a performance. We're not here to entertain. We're here to call Ram into our life. We're here to call divinity into our mundane life. We're here to resurrect what we forgot we are, pure spirit souls. Does anybody have children, little children? Right? Sometimes the little child will draw a picture. Ever see that? My children were little, they used to draw me pictures. Dad, I drew a picture of you. It's got this big football head, a stick body, hands look like a rake, right? And big X's for my eyes, and it says, Dad. And then one of the D's is backwards. It's just, right? What does a good dad say? Do it again. Looks nothing like me. What kind of slop? No, he doesn't say it. A good dad says, that is amazing. You did that? You? No, you didn't. You did that? Yeah, I did it. I did it. Oh my God, this looks just like me. I'm gonna put this on the refrigerator so everybody can see what a good artist you've become. Because the father is not our critic. The father's not an art critic. The father just sees the love of the child. When we sing, that's our mood in kirtan. It's got nothing to do with the tone of your voice. It's got to do with the quality of your heart. And I'm convinced everybody in this room has a very beautiful heart. Isn't that an interesting analogy, though? Krishna gets caught in the heart. It could be a kirtan. You could come to a kirtan, something. I've seen people come to kirtan, the first kirtan, they don't know why, they just cry. Chanting in a yoga class, some big dude in the back just like, it just starts crying. He's like, you can't explain it. Sometimes people just walk in front of the deity and they break into tears. Sometimes they come to a holy place. Or how many people for the first time bathed in the Ganga and said, this is not normal? Anybody have that experience? This is not a normal place. That taste of, sometimes it's through prasad. Someone gives you some prasad and you go, oh. I had a friend, he wasn't into spiritual life at all. But there was this Krishna restaurant in Los Angeles. And he'd say, I don't know, there's something about that food. All this vegetarian food. I don't usually eat this, but there's something in that food. It's like, did they put something in there? I go, yes. Love. That's what's in that food. But I find that fish hook analogy is actually pretty good. Because there's something in bhakti, a potent item, Swami Prabhupada called it. Going to a holy place, seeing the deity, associating with spiritual people, hearing stories from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It punctures the heart and gets stayed in the heart, and you can't even explain it. And these fishermen, in the old days when they used to catch fish, they were too big to reel in, so they bite at something and they let that fish just run with the line, like rope, like a big tuna or something. And then they'd wait till the fish would exhaust themselves, and then they'd pull it in. The hook gets caught in our heart. But we have to sometimes exhaust ourselves in the material world to understand this isn't my place. We used this example yesterday, right? Like the fish. When we were at Dave Prayag yesterday, there were these big fish in there. Imagine if I was to take one of those fish, just bring it with me. Come on, we're going back to New York City. You're going to love it. The fish is like, what? Don't worry, we got like really big buildings. You're going to love big buildings. I got this penthouse. You're going to love it. I've got a sports car. I know these great restaurants. You think the fish is going to be very excited? No. It's good restaurants I'm talking about. Beacon. Great apartments, penthouse views of Central Park. Go for a jog up the West Coast, Highway Park. Fish is just like... Fish isn't happy. Isn't that weird? No matter what I give that fish, he's not happy. Cuban cigars. Fish doesn't like them. You want to hear something weird about this fish? He's only happy when I put him back in the water. No matter what I give him. And I've given him some good stuff. He's only happy when I put him back in the water. You know why? He's a being of the water. That's where he feels normal. We are beings of the spiritual realm. If you've ever felt alone in a crowd, if you ever felt like, you know what? There's something weird about this place. That's a very, very genuine feeling. It's a very real feeling. Because in fact, we are visitors on this planet. We're here for just a few days. And we are spiritual beings embodied. And the entire yoga system isn't just to get rid of lower back pain or teach me acrobatics. The yoga system is to remember what I forgot. I forgot that I was a spiritual being. I thought I was an Italian New York male. I'm not. I am for a few days only. I'm a spiritual being that's desperately trying to remember that on a regular basis so I don't continually make stupid choices. If you can relate to that, say Haribol.
Haribol!
Haribol. We don't belong in this place. We're just visitors here. That's why we're here. What night is it? Does anybody know what day of the week? Anybody know what day of the week it is? It's Saturday night. I bet you can call some of your friends at home and you say, like, what are you doing? And a lot of your friends will be like, you what? You're sitting on the floor singing songs. Are you all partying and getting drunk? No, not at all. Super fancy place? Nope. We got some blinking lights on the wall, that's about it. It makes no material sense that we're coming here. But it makes spiritual sense and it feels right. It feels at home. There's no performance. We're just singing and dancing, not to impress anybody, but as an offering. And when I see you guys up there doing your silly flute dance, it warms my heart because there's no ego involved. You can't have an ego when you're going like this. When a grown man's dancing around who's not intoxicated is doing that. I was like, this man has no ego. He's completely liberated. Thank you very much.